Well, it's the month of January, and we're 5 rounds into the 6-round season, and we're getting ready to hit the cars back out on the track in the Endurance Karting Series. Welcome, everybody, following along live. We're glad you guys are with us. We're going to switch over here to our booth camera, and surprise, I've got a new guest with me tonight.
What's up?
It's not Jason. It is none other than the driver himself, David Pons, the guy who has been participating in this series for, well, how many rounds we got in here so far? We got 3 or 4?
Enough.
Enough that you decided you didn't want to drive tonight, right?
Oh, I'm quitting. I'm retired.
So we're not going to see you out on the track anymore at all?
No.
All right.
I was here the last 3 months. Is that right? No. Well, 3 out of the 4.
Well, we've got you with, we've got you with 3 rounds total. You've skipped one, and hey, the signups are tight, so
absolutely.
If you don't sign up early for this race, you're not going to be able to get in. So let's switch over to the pits here as we look at the drivers meeting that's going on right now. You got Jason, who is normally sitting next to me in the booth, who's leading that drivers meeting. Hey, this is all a series that leads up to the 12 Hours of Canton. So if you love indoor go-karting, it's just going to get better from here. So this is a 30-minute race that we're running for 6 months, runs once a month, and then drivers are going to compete for championship points. And guess what? They get money towards their 12-hour race.
That's insane.
I think we're going to give out, we'll see, the 12 hours itself is going to be $7,000 total in prize money.
Holy crap, really?
It's a lot to put on the line. It kind of makes me nervous.
That is so much money.
Because you got to make sure everything's working right. But at least for this series, you can come on a Sunday night as long as you sign up. You're one of the first 13 to get on the list. Your points accumulate where you can earn. I was supposed to check this before we started tonight. How much is it? I think it's $500 towards your team. Here, David, fill time. This is what we hired you to do.
This is what I was hired to do. I was born to do this.
I'm going to go to K1 Speed Canton. I'm going to go to the Endurance League, and I'm going to go to the racing information.
I can't wait for the 12 hours.
There we go. Championship points leader for this series gets $500. The runner-up second gets $300, and the third place gets $200.
Is it towards your team, or is it just in pocket?
It is towards your team.
What if you're not racing?
Well, then you get to be a driver for hire.
Oh, cool. I love the idea of driver for hire.
So look at those points standings so far. We've got Roman Felber, who has been running away with a couple of the races, but he's also doing really well in the point standings, followed very closely by Rachel Hart. And then his brother, Cash Felber, with 50.
Right on her heels.
He's got, 1 point apart. But here's the thing. This series runs based upon driver signups. So a couple drivers who have been part of the series before didn't make the signups in time, and so therefore they don't get to participate. So
I had to find a
there's no
different way to
points.
participate.
This is a different participation.
Although I was told I got points if I came up here and did this, so bribery at its finest.
We'll have to talk about that.
It's all good. Then you got Katie Wise in number 4. She has just been incredibly consistent. If you see her tonight, she's wearing the Bull t-shirt. That's her new nickname, is the Bull. But we've been calling her, you guys have been calling her the Bull.
Does that mean
that's just the correction. She wants to be the Bull. She's the one pushing everybody out of the way. So that's
I think that means she's officially engaged her nickname.
Exactly. That's the best part.
We like it.
We need to change her name on the scoreboard. We really do.
Well,
because everybody else has a nickname.
Maybe. Well, not everybody else, because most everybody else has their official name. We've been trying to keep it formal. But you guys that are on the chat with us, give us a comment on who you'd like to see a camera go on board with, and we will do our best to drop a camera on their roll hoop and follow them along during the race. You've got several different onboards that we get to choose tonight. And
there's a bunch of drivers signed up tonight that I don't think I've raced with before, actually. So it should be a good matchup, especially for rookies.
And that is a good lead into some of our new drivers tonight. To my knowledge, we've got 3 new drivers. We've got James, Sean, and Quentin. Now, Quentin has raced here.
Guys. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, exactly. Quentin is an experienced racer here, but he's new to the Endurance Series, and I believe the same as Sean and James. So if you're new to the series, they're going to get rookie points, which is going to be its own championship in itself.
I'm so glad we did that.
Rookie points, which is going to be its own championship in itself.
I'm so glad we did that.
So rookie.
The rookie class is definitely a step up from showing up and basically being thrown into the deep end of the pool.
Because you get to compete with the real well, the full-time drivers, but you get to compete with your own point standings.
Exactly. So there's still a lot of pressure to perform, but you're also competing in your own little part of the pool. You're not competing with the big showrunners, like Miss Champions Club right there.
Yeah.
You ain't competing with her, and you aren't competing with the twins. And you aren't getting pushed around by Katie, PJ, or me. So.
And at the end of the season, you get to be in your own class with your own point standings and your own prize money. So the first, get
that kid off screen.
I had to stop and think a minute because I've gotten pretty good at telling Cash and Roman apart because they're identical twins.
I have no idea. I'm going to make that mistake all night.
I think that was Cash. I think it was. Anyway, so the top 3 rookies are going to get $200 towards their team if they're the winner. Second place, $100. Third place, $50.
Nice.
And we're doing that hopefully so that teams, if they want to pick up some additional drivers, they know where to go find them.
And it seems like based on just past endurance races with the rookies that show up, it's all going to be about consistency. If you show up for more than 2 or 3, you're probably going to be showrunner.
For sure. And we'd like to get this championship running to the point where we can run multiple races on a Sunday night if we have enough interest in doing that.
Absolutely. Back when we used to do that, back when we first started and we had 2 groups of racers, that was the best.
Yeah, it was.
It was great.
And
although you had to try and figure out which class your friends were in. That was the hard part.
And we weren't so much running classes as we were just running a 2 o'clock and a 6 o'clock race, and you were accumulating basically the same points. So basically, the champions of the 2 o'clock were competing against the champions of the 6 o'clock.
Exactly.
But Katie and PJ were among the winners in that competition as well. So.
Well, you got PJ was the champion of the endurance champion the first time around. Katie got it the second time around.
Yep.
And now it's all about the twins and the randomizer. Miss Champion herself, Rachel Hart.
That's why we brought him along, ladies and gentlemen. Color commentary.
Color commentary.
All right, so now we got both the twins standing there, the FLBR racers, and a couple of our newer drivers standing behind him. And you got Jason, your race director.
Is that Armand hiding in the background?
Yeah, Armand.
He's not even racing. What's he doing here?
He was going to be an alternate in case nobody else was able to show up.
Should have him come up and announce.
And you are cart 3.
Maybe we can pull him up here.
Cart number 3 for the newest guy. Let's go.
Well, we've got some comments in the chat that we want to see onboards for Dominic and the Bull, and then the Felbers and Dominic. So Dominic's got 2 votes.
That wasn't me. It was totally Nick. I clicked the spin.
I don't think I've met Dominic in person, to be honest. I'd have to actually like go shake his hand to see who he is. Maybe I do. Maybe I have raced with him. I don't know.
And we got Nick Nastoff right there, who's choosing his cart number. And then there's Rachel.
She's gonna have to put it down tonight. She's got brown to make up.
So Drew in the chat, the Felbers. There's a good chance that the Felbers. Well, let's see how they qualify. They're usually running up front, so we usually run their cameras backwards. You don't actually get to see them drive, but. I guess we'll find out.
As someone who's raced against them and next to them, there's a lot you don't see.
Roman has won 3 of the 4 races that we've held so far. There's Dominic, as you're asking about him. He's the fire red helmet. Roman has won 3 of the 4 races so far this season. In fact, the last round, last month, he completely dominated that race.
He did.
Almost put half a lap on the field. You were in that race. What was your perspective on it?
I was too busy fighting with his twin. I had no perspective on where he was. I was having fun, though, from what I remember.
His bonus points for the fastest lap was set at a 25.487. And for any of those that were interested, that's the wheel of fun, is having a little bit of fun scrolling there. Anybody who was interested in that particular lap time who said that maybe that was just a botched lap time or maybe that was a scoring inaccuracy, the laps prior to and post that lap were 25.6s.
That's correct.
So all legitimate times.
Well, and you know what, James? If that would have been this month that he did that, you know what that would have been?
A new track record.
A new track record.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Because we reposted track records, so the new record, I believe, is a 25.55 set by Marshall Miller, but he is not here tonight.
Yeah, so we've got a shot of that brand new track time set up on the wall right there, 25.55, right above PJ and Katie.
That 27.74 is the kids' kart time.
It is. And that's set by McAllen right now. Yeah.
Good for him.
It's a girl, actually. A girl who's...
Oh, I'm sorry. Good for them.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's what I should have. That's where I should have went with that. Good for her. Good for her.
McAllen, who's moving up in the junior league. It's great to see her advancing.
Awesome.
She's putting in a lot of practice time, so props to her for that new track record. We reset that at the beginning of the year just because it was time.
Not the outside record, though.
Nope.
Haven't officially reset that one yet. Still got it right here. Still got it.
Well, I think it is officially reset. I don't see anything on the bottom there.
Yeah, I mean, it's not on the way. It's still on the website, though.
True. Gotcha.
You will never take that away from me.
Yeah.
Even though I don't know how I did it.
If any of you are guessing as to why he's talking about the outdoor track record, it's because he was the previous record holder.
That is correct.
Oh. All right, there's Katie. All right, let's see if we can get a shot of her. Let's find Katie a second. She just walked away. Can we see the bull shirt? Oh, it's shiny.
It is. I love the gold.
All right, she's going
to... I think it's bronze.
Okay.
Now that you showed it to us.
She's going to start in cart 14.
That's a good draw. I really hope... It almost seems like her strategy sometimes to start at the back of the pack and get the passing points to get as many points as she does. Because there was one race, I don't remember if it was this season or last season, she started at the back and got all the way to like 4th or 5th. Like, she was on a tear. She put down the best race she's probably ever put down.
This was one of the endurance races you were talking about?
Yes, it was one of the endurance races.
Yeah, so I have notes here. Her first round, she started in 12th. She finished 4th.
Yeah, that was the one.
That was impressive.
Go back and watch that one because it's very impressive.
And then her round 2, she started in 10th and moved up to 8th. Yep. And then last round, she started in 12th and moved up to 4th.
Well, there you go.
So moving up in the pack. I'm sorry, that was round 3. And then round 4, she started in 13th and finished 10th. So she's always moved up from her qualifying.
Well, I was talking to her about that today. She said, like, she always gets the rookies. I mean, that's, they're new. She's experienced. But then she's like, I always get an Onamaker, too. And I'm like, don't be throwing that around. I mean, he's in this race, too. Don't jinx yourself.
We've also got something new tonight. And we're going to see these guys practice it at the end of their 7-lap qualifier here, and that's going to be the entrance to a brand-new pit lane. Ooh. So we're going to watch the cars roll out on track, and then maybe we'll pick it up here. Yep, there we go. Let's go over to this shot. So if you watch the previous live streams, you notice that off to the right in the carousel was typically a row of cones. Well, we've made a little bit of improvement. We wanted to give some room to the track, and so we've made a new pit lane entrance in the back of the track. So the cars will be
turn 5.
Yep, flying right through turn 5 for the automatic slowdown. They'll make that 90-degree turn all the way up to the pits.
Hopefully at slow speed.
Hopefully, yep. The electronic timing limiter is back there. It was tested earlier, so we're going to give these guys a shot after their qualifier. They're going to go around twice just to get a feel for what the new entrance to pit lane is like.
I was told by your track marshal that when you go flying across that timing, it takes a good while to actually get slowed down.
Yeah.
I mean, versus when we did it through the carousel with all the cones, you'd have to make turn 6 pretty incorrectly to go wide and then enter right into the wall, and that kind of cut your speed down. So that when you hit the timing line, you actually were pretty slowed down by that point, and it just caught you and kept you going. You didn't really have to worry about hitting the cones as much.
Yeah, definitely.
But if you're going to go flying in through after, if you went wide on turn 5 and just booked it into the pits, like, you're going to be going really fast.
And that was part of the slowdown process of getting you past that timing line. Now they're going to be able to round turn 5 and hit that timing line immediately.
It's going to be really fun to see.
All right, we're going to start for the qualifier. It's a very short one if you're familiar with this series, but we don't spend a lot of time on it because, one, we want to make it super challenging for them, and also we got a 30-minute race coming up. We don't want to burn everybody out before they actually get down on the track. You got 7 laps to warm up those tires, set down your fast lap time. Did you follow along with Dominic?
I hope you're not warming the tires up for 7 laps. That'd be bad.
Let's get some of our onboards going here.
Katie Wise leading the pack on the warm-up lap. Oh. Is it Sean or Sheen? Number 3.
Sean.
Sean Horton?
Sean, yep.
Okay. Oh, Dominic.
All right, you're first on.
Katie's back again.
That's right. First lap, and you're on board with Katie Wise, the number 14 machine. We've also got an onboard from Nick Nastoff as he's looking at the back of the 28 machine of Will Nonamaker, giving him a little bit of a wave.
Giving him the run by.
You've also got an onboard with Rachel Hart, who's on the 21.
Oh, there she is, 26.4. She's jumping up.
Watch for that purple on the board. And then you've also got Cash Felber in the number 6 machine, barreling down on the number 22 already.
I noticed nobody actually got any warm-up. Well, maybe one. Maybe a couple of them got in that last race before the qualifier started.
You mean like races before the started?
I mean, you guys were packed full beforehand.
That tends to happen with the Arrive and Drive races. They like to come on Sunday evenings right before the race.
They always show up right at the cusp.
There's Sean jumping up with a 26.4.
Yeah, man.
Besting Katie Wise, who's already number 2 on the board. So let's see how her time holds during this qualifier.
I think she's sitting right behind the twins. She better just catch and stick because they'll help her significantly. Oh, no, wait, she's stuck up in traffic behind. Who's 22?
Well, let's switch over to her because she just went purple with a 26.0. We usually see those times 26.0 and 25.9, 25.8, somewhere in there.
There you go, Katie. Get past him. Rachel's just free track everywhere.
Let's see what she sets on this time by.
26.0.
Doesn't improve.
Does not improve, but she is getting there.
But we do have an onboard over here with Cash, who's the number 3 position. Dominic D'Angelo jumping up to the number 2.
Let's go, Dom. Let's go.
Dominic D'Angelo doing a great job in the Teen League, exercising his speed tonight in the Endurance Championship.
You know off the top of your head who's leading Teen League? Just off top.
So you've only done one round, and it was won by Leighton.
Oh, nice. Oh, Dominic. Dominic's got her by a little bit.
Look at that. White flag.
4 100ths. The Felbers are not putting it down right now. They're going to sneak it in the last lap, I bet. Come on.
As we'll watch our new Turn 1 camera.
Oh, Rachel got him back.
26.0 with Rachel Hart. Besting Dominic D'Angelo with a 26.055. Checkered flag is waving.
Let's go.
Flying laps will count. Anybody have anything for that 26.033?
I don't think so.
It does not look like it.
Everybody else ran her down. A 25 would have done it. A 25 would have beaten everybody out.
And look at that. Roman Felber, the winner of 3 of our 4 races, as the drivers are now
fourth.
Yeah, starting 4th, and the drivers are now going to practice that drive-through pit lane.
Let's get an eye on that.
Just to get a feel for what it's like. They're going to hit through the drive-through, they're going to re-accelerate, and then go through a second time just so they can get a good practice of it.
All around the world.
This is a lot like we're going to be seeing for the 12 hours. You getting excited for 12 hours?
Absolutely, man. Rachel was actually, I jumped over to Supersonic's team instead of running Team Talladega like I did last year. But yeah, I'm excited to be on their team and still racing because it's going to be a good one this year.
We've also got another camera tonight who's sitting right there at the pit entrance, so you can see these guys as they slide through. This is the other thing. It's brand new concrete back there. It has never been touched by rubber, so it's going to be a little slippery as they come through.
And with it not being packed like that, they are going to come flying in. So what's the, James, let's run through. So you come through the pit, you come into pit on the Endurance, and what? You stop the cart, and then it's 25 seconds, correct?
Exactly.
To switch carts?
Exactly.
Once that 25 seconds is up, you're out.
That's when you want to leave.
You can leave.
Yep. It's time from the time you stop your cart in pit lane to the time you're allowed to leave with the new car. So the pit lane itself really doesn't make too much of a difference.
Well, kind of.
Well, it's not part of the timing.
Yeah, it's more along the line. It's what I'm thinking of, I think, is when you pit and how far back in the lane you stop when you pit. Because if you're the last guy in, you're going to get the last cart in that lane, and it's going to be a longer time till you actually get on track.
But the thing with this is we look at the lanes right now is the cars stack up, your car that you jump into is always going to be right beside you.
That is correct.
You're always going to have the exact amount of time as everybody else does. You either have a longer pit in with a shorter pit out, or you have a longer pit in with a shorter pit out. Wait, did I say the same thing twice?
I know what you meant.
Yeah. So
If you're the first guy,
the distance
if you're-
covered is the same.
Yeah, yeah. If you're the first guy in, you have to travel the entire length of the pit lane and then jump in the first cart in the other lane, which kind of equals out to if you're the last cart in the lane.
Yeah.
You jump in the last cart in the other lane, and then you have to travel the entire length of the pit lane to get out.
Yeah. Distance traveled is
So,
identical.
Distance traveled is exactly identical.
No cars put as advantage or disadvantage. And then all the cars are electronically sped up and slowed down. So no change there.
Every advantage you can get, though, man. You got to take every advantage you can get.
Well, we're going to have a second for everybody to get their carts assigned for the start of the race. We're going to step aside for just a minute. Guys, hang on with us, and we'll be right back. All right, David, you all warmed up, ready for this final?
Absolutely. Let's do it. I'm so psyched for this.
If you're just joining us, we got David Pons, who's the star of the Round 4 Endurance League Championship. He's the guy on the thumbnail going like this.
My signature wave.
Yeah. And then we got a bunch of onboard cameras tonight. So we got Rachel Hart, who's going to be looking backwards because she's your pole sitter. Dominic D'Angelo from, well, I don't know what he's from. So he's starting second.
I hope he shows up and goes out. Let's do it.
Followed by the Felbers.
I'm so psyched that he beat them out.
And speaking of Dominic, obviously, we've got on board with him. For those of you who are asking about that, Primo Life Organics Go Felber Race Team. Yeah, referring to the Felber boys. FLBR Race Team. Good to have you guys joining along tonight. Hey, hit that like button for us so you can share the stream so other people can join on.
I shared it to my family's group chat. They're all watching me. My mommy said I was doing a good job.
Oh, good job. On board with PJ. We always remember that he is the first and always will be first reigning endurance champion. So we're going to be on board with him. And then we've got on board with Cash Felber. And let's see, did we touch all of them?
I think so, yeah.
I think that was everybody.
Yeah,
So
Dominic,
we got
Cash,
4 on board.
PJ,
So
and Rachel.
let's switch over to Dominic a little bit.
Who's your bet? Who do you think is going to be the best to watch?
Oh, I'm not allowed to do that from
No?
this. No.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean bet. I meant like which one's going to be the most fun to watch? What do you think?
Always keep an eye out for Katie because we referred to her moving up through the field. So let's see what she can do tonight.
She's probably going to sideline her dad at some point. She's right behind him. So like them two getting into it is just it's going to happen.
Possibly.
Oh, hey, there's Jason.
But
What's he doing there?
also this guy. This is going to be another interesting one to watch for Dominic just to see what he can do because this is his highest start in any of the endurance champions.
Yeah, go Dominic, man.
Nice job on the qualifying.
So happy for him.
And then we got Roman back there. We can't forget about Roman because he is the points leader. So we got to see what he's going to do moving up from 4th back there. They usually like to go alternate pit strategy from everybody else. So
yeah, Dominic's stuck between a fast-moving rock and a hard place hitting him from behind. He's going to have a heck of a time.
how fast is that?
If he's not right on Rachel's bumper, Cash is going to make him regret it.
And I was just looking at the driver profile for the number 25, Sean Horrigan, because it was a surprise to me to see him up there. But congratulations to him starting in the top 5. He's run several races here, and
Way to go, dude.
just not something that I'm not familiar with him. So I'm gonna have to make sure to.
That's not a name we recognize.
But probably after tonight, we'll know it pretty well.
Oh, I hope so. I definitely hope so.
Keeping in mind, if you're watching the live stream and you're interested in running this race, the signups will start right around Tuesday. We clear the list from the previous month and the signups begin. The priority is given to anybody who's running the race right now. If they choose to sign up for tonight, or if they sign up for next month, they will be first on the list. So then everything else goes out to the web and you can sign up online. We limit it to 13 drivers, as you can see.
But you should still sign up. You should still sign up. That
You
way,
can still sign up.
That way, if we get enough racers to run 2 races, we could probably do that.
We could definitely do that.
Because originally you're supposed to run 2 time blocks, according to K1, but
When we can get enough battery
drivers.
capacity to do it.
correct.
battery capacity is a big deal.
That's the trick, yeah. Hopefully we don't have a big marathon right before the 12-hour of swapping out every battery like we did last time.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet on that.
Wouldn't bet on it. Noted.
Wouldn't bet on that not happening.
Be a long night for me. I was here at 2 a.m. every night before the 12-hour for at least a week. Swapping batteries out. Some of them didn't even work.
All right, so the Endurance Championship is a 30-minute race with one kart swap. You can choose when you want to come into the pits and bring on another car. Just remember that if you pit within the first 10 minutes or within the last 10 minutes, that you're not guaranteed your battery to make it all the way. So basically, you want to make it past the 10-minute mark if at all possible, because that way if your battery does die, you are allowed to get a kart swap.
Crucial. Very crucial.
But we've seen people do that before. They've ducked into the pits prior to the 10 laps, and it's worked out well for them. They get out away from traffic. So we'll see what happens tonight.
Now, I remember when we did GP this month, there was a new rule about no outside help for GP. Did that carry over, or
it did not? No,
it did not. Okay.
No. Since this is a league that we get to control, we chose to allow communications however you'd like them.
Copy that.
Especially because it's a practice or it's a leading up to the 12 hours, and the 12 hours team communication is absolutely vital. So we definitely want people to practice that as much as possible.
Heck, it's required.
Yeah, it is required.
We're doing it. We are requiring team communication this year. I'm sure Katie and PJ, who did make it in, they are officially the 8th team, correct?
Yep, they are.
You'll see them down on the sidelines making hand signals and signs, just like last year.
You don't think they all have radios this year?
They'll probably have radios, but, like, you got to watch the footage from last year. It was my own team, so I can tell you, like, there were comments about what does that hand signal mean? We're throwing arms down there. There's even there's.
You mean Team Talladega wasn't the most organized team in the whole?
No,
pit lane?
okay. So the big joke, the running joke here, the running joke about Talladega, the one I love the most, is that some teams have spreadsheets, others have strategy. Some of them have Excel and everything. Our team, we had rock, paper, scissors to decide who went next. And and pen and paper, just keeping track, man. Hand signals. And we came in third. It wasn't rocket science, and it still worked. I was
going to say, it worked out pretty well for you.
It did work out. It was a slog, though.
So it looks like we're going to be going green here, so we will be standing by.
Let's go.
Off we go.
Let's go.
On the 5th round of the Endurance Karting Championship. And everybody is underway, making their way through turns 1, 2, and 3 on cold tires. Let's see what we can do.
Felbers are already pushing Dominic around. He needs to get out of there.
On board with PJ Mannypenny, who is pushing the number 20 of Brandon right in front of him. Brandon's in a train with the number 25 as well.
Like I said, we should have had a backwards camera on PJ too, because I'm sure Katie's pushing him back there too.
Well, speaking of backwards cameras, we got on board with Rachel, who's back.
That was good timing.
Taking a dive bomb on Dominic. Oh. That's going to screw up both of those guys as Roman tries to make the squeeze as well.
He pinched him into the wall. Did you see that?
Let's see what happens as we've got the numbers, Cash and Roman making a squeeze through the very early corners of the race here.
Come on, Dominic, go after him. Let's go.
As we look at the field, who's rounding turn 1 now. Rachel Hart already setting the fastest lap.
Felber's dad down in the right-hand corner watching the stream.
He's a good driver coach for sure.
Absolutely. That's why I asked about outside help.
Rachel already putting out a significant gap.
Oh yeah,
on Cash,
she's running away, my friend. She is running away.
Primarily because
and fastest lap of the race so far, 26.3.
Primarily because the Felber boys just smashed into each other going through turn 2, so that allowed her to pull out a gap as they went through 4.
Smashed into each other and Dominic. Don't count him out of that whole scrap. He was an innocent bystander.
Yeah.
Come on, Dominic, run him down. Let's go. Yeah, that's the hand signal we wanted. Run him down, man.
As you're right on board now with Cash Felber, his last lap time of a 26.5. A couple tenths off of Rachel Hart in the number 11 machine.
We can't count him out yet, though. As soon as those tires warm up, he'll start clicking. Him and Roman.
We can see overhead the shot from with Rachel as she rounds the carousel. There's almost, I would say, 10 car lengths between her and Cash.
Oh, definitely. At least a turn, a whole turn's length.
Going purple once again.
Yeah, because she's in 2 and Cash came out of 1, so they're.
Let's see how they approach.
Although you see Cash drop down to 26.3, he's catching her. I mean, not really catching her, but he's on the same level.
Rachel's got how many cameras hooked to her car there?
Quite a few. I mean, hey, when you're expecting atrocities, you gotta film it from every angle. Unfortunately, we don't have access to those. Those would be pretty good views. I would think.
Those you'll just have to pick up on her social media channel. Rachel.
Ooh, 26.0
with Rachel.
Racing with Rachel. Better hook her up.
Let's see what PJ's doing here. He's looking down the back of the number 20 machine.
All over Brandon.
Jason did an interview with him earlier today that will be broadcast at some point prior to the 12 hours. It's going to be interesting as he talks about what it takes to be the endurance champion and what it takes to save batteries in the early stages of these races.
He's got a lot of knowledge to share. I listened in while they were doing that interview, and him and Katie both. That'll
be a cool one to listen to.
Absolutely.
Great father-daughter combo as he's bumping him through turn 3, letting him know that he's still there.
It's weird, though, because it doesn't seem like he's getting bumped, so I'm not sure where Katie is.
So we have this train that we were following
nope,
a longboard
she's
right there.
behind him. If he's not careful, she'll push him out of the way. He better get past that 20 before she does it.
Cash now jumping below the 26-second line. Rachel did as well, but Cash is just slightly faster than her.
Faster. That's fastest lap so far. Rachel better be careful. Look at that train.
Yeah, they're being held up by that number. Is that number 20?
Number 20, Brandon Kovac. But he's holding his 5th position. He qualified 5th, which is very impressive considering Katie and PJ are veterans. And Will Nonamaker. So it's very, is that it? Nope, not going to make it.
It's always tough to do that in turn 4 there.
Yeah.
I know we've seen you take a look on the outside of turn 4 before, but
Absolutely.
It's just so much more track space you have to cover in order to overcut somebody there.
You really can't make turn 4 a passing zone. You really can't.
But it's so tempting, isn't it?
Exactly. Well, you know.
Well, especially you come out of 3.
It's pretty easy to be on the wrong line through there. Especially like with this. If PJ pushed him wide and they got next to each other, you're forced to go to the outside of the turn and you will hit the wall. So you really don't gain any position that way. So it's really PJ, come on, man.
Yeah, just going to remind him that he's still there with a few bumps.
Absolutely.
Switch over for a second to Dominic.
Wait. He passed him. He got him. Go back. Oh, nope.
Just along the outside. Sorry.
Oh, my bad. Oh, this is what I was talking about. Going too wide into 4, it doesn't work. You have to back off, stay close. And if you're lucky, if you can stay close into number 5, you can push. You can push him out. You can give him the old Salerno. Push him out of the way. Unfortunately, PJ did not capitalize, and now
it's going to cost him a little bit of a gap there.
Yeah, he's got,
No, turn 1 looked clean.
He went wide. Come on, come on.
Brandon make a little bit of mistake through those 2 turns.
He keeps going wide there. He's going to see, that's exactly what I was talking about.
Closing the door on him.
Rachel Hart putting up a new time, too, 25.8, fastest lap.
Let's check to see if she has anybody on her tail.
Oh, nope.
Clear track. And I was also
her and Cash are running at the same rate, though, so it seems like, looks like Roman might be struggling back there, though. His last lap was a 27.4.
Look at the train that's accumulated as we were driving on board with PJ.
Yeah, they're stacking up. Oh, he got him. Nope.
Nope, but he's going to have the inside corner on that one. And this is where
and there you go. Katie's capitalizing.
Oh, Katie pushed to the outside, but Will Nonamaker, she's going to hold on to that one.
Oh.
Yeah, but PJ.
Oh, my gosh. What happened to PJ?
It seems as he has a problem with the car.
Oh, boy. It's dead.
PJ's car is
dead car
not under power. Track marshal's going to red flag the race temporarily as we figure out what was happening with that machine. He came around the corner and he just lost his power.
Yeah, and it almost looked like that whole train was going to push right by him, but he definitely was on a different speed than everybody else. He'll need a kart change on track.
track workers who are looking at the battery telemetry to see if there's a problem with the number 17. Track workers saying that the battery is not a problem. We got Adam looking at the telemetry of that
Yeah, that's a sneak
machine.
peek. That's a sneak peek behind the scenes right there.
There's a lot of green on that screen.
Yeah.
I just wonder if it had something.
Hi, Adam.
It might have had something to do with getting pushed or shoved through that corner. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
They are going to go ahead and do a
Yeah.
cart swap for him anyway.
It's for the best. Could have been a fluke. Could have been getting pushed around. But it doesn't seem like with these steering wheels, the new steering wheels on these carts, that you have that much of a chance of bumping the button like you did with the old ones.
True, yeah.
So we're up in the air on that one.
So PJ's now going to be in the number 3. They're cart swapping that for him.
Hopefully he can make up some ground.
Not sure if they're going to put him back in the same position or not. I think that they would. But that is going to be Jason's call down there.
Rachel's going to be in a hard spot starting out. She had just caught up to traffic, and now she's going to have to fight her way through to try and keep Cash from catching her.
Whatever it was, he definitely lost power, so even if it wasn't the battery giving up, it might have been some other mechanical issue with the car. One of the things I was going to switch over to as we were right in the heat of battle here was watching the car 7, the car 8. Great battle going on here between Roman and Dominic.
We need to stay. Other than checking in with Rachel, we do need to stay right here. I want to see Dominic. I want to see Dominic get Roman. I really do.
If you look all the way down the track and slightly to the right of the red flashing light, that is the number 2 spot of Cash Felber.
Yeah.
That is the gap.
That's a big gap, man. But like I said earlier, he was putting down. I looked at one point. He was putting down 27s, while the other two were putting down 25s. I think maybe him and Dominic were fighting it out in the back.
And I know as we're looking down the last lap, most of these guys in the 26s, 26.1, 26.2, 26.3.
Yeah, your top 5 are very, very close.
Rachel just consistently hitting the 25.
It's all going to be about this restart, James. If they start them from a dead stop, it's going to be all about this restart. Because like I said, it seems like Rachel had caught that pack. So she needs to get through before Cash catches her.
Yeah, let's see if we can find that. Let's locate Rachel in the group and see if she's coming up on lap traffic. Oh, yep.
Yeah, she is.
Speaking of that, there she is.
That would be James.
Looked like she was making the move on him.
She was trying. You never know. She could have just rolled to the outside.
And
Where are we
yes,
putting PJ?
looks like they
going
are
right back.
They are going to put him back in his position. Not
Don't
that it's
be-
perfect because he's still got cold tires to deal with, but
Yeah, don't be throwing hands, PJ. Oh, here we go.
and they're going to stand by for track lights to get green flag going again.
Now the question is, if James in number 2, the 12th spot, is he going to let Rachel by, or is he gonna push her through turn 3?
Depends on how fast they get to the gas.
Yeah.
I think she'll have an okay shot
She's
into
got
the corner.
Oh, she jumped him.
Yeah, she got
jumped
it.
him.
She got it good.
Yeah, but now she's going to have to catch Nick Nastoff and Braden Popolini.
So she's your current race leader,
yeah.
and she's also number 2 in the points championships. If she could pull off a win tonight, she would be a very happy girl.
She'd certainly close the gap between her and Roman in the points.
As now we're back to the same battle with PJ in a different car, just in the same situation. Actually, we're looking at the back of car 30, which is Katie. So
Wise.
she's going to put up her hand
She's
for a
pitting.
pit stop.
She's going in for pits.
So
Oh, we had 2 carts pit. I think Nonamaker went in after.
let's check on this camera. Sorry, I missed them coming into the pits. We should have them coming in here in a second.
There's Dominic. all over the back of Roman. That's a battle I want to watch because it seems like
Yeah, Dominic.
Oh, he pushed him.
Oh, man.
Oh.
What's Dominic going to do?
Felbers are up to dirty tactics tonight. Don't get me wrong, I like the Felbers, but they are actually professional racers outside of this, so it's
Yeah, and that was
it's much harder to root for them when you know that they're really good. That was Katie Wise and Will Nonamaker that went into the pits at the same time. They made the swap, and they are back out now. Although, Nonamaker's having a problem.
Nonamaker also has his hand up in the air.
Yeah, Nonamaker seemed like his kart did not speed up when he came out of the pits. He's up to speed now, but it seems like he dropped out.
I believe they said that his car did not switch up to race speed when he exited.
That's what it looked like. 'Cause he came out into traffic and got bullied a little bit. I think somebody got past Roman, I think. We have a new number 3. Or wait, is that Pete or is that Katie?
Well, let's see if we can catch that overhead here.
Well, because during that little exchange,
So yeah,
that's Katie
in the
Wise.
32.
Okay. Well, during that exchange, I think it was it Nick Nastoff that was mixed up in that silver helmet?
He
I don't
was
remember.
He was stopped in one of the 2 corners when we were doing the kart swap for PJ.
Yeah. Okay.
As we have the number 20. Trying to see the kart number.
Yeah, I can't tell.
Going to switch over to the 31. Sorry, I don't recognize the helmet just yet.
No.
Got to learn that one.
It's a K1 helmet, so it's kind of hard to keep track. Dominic is still keeping pace. Best thing you can do with the Felbers is be right behind them so they have to drive with their heads turned around.
Yeah, that
while
seems
they're
to be...
while they're looking at you, and that's the best way to keep them in check, because like you saw in one of the other turns, Roman would stick towards the inside wall in turn 1 trying to block, and that slows you down significantly. And that's what kept Dominic close.
We've now got the leader behind, or trying to get past PJ as he pointed her by on the left-hand side. Let's watch Rachel go through turn 5.
That's professional racing, everybody.
PJ,
Now PJ should really just stick with her.
he was very careful to only let her slip by with a limited amount of distance in between the 2 cars, so he didn't lose any ground there.
Yeah.
Now let's see what he does for a lap time that he can follow the leader.
Yeah, he's stuck in that fast position like I was saying earlier about Dominic.
I'm kind of watching the
Stuck too
cars
much.
as they push through turn 4 there to see who's hitting that as a late apex and who is cutting that corner really close. I saw a lot of space in between Rachel's car as she goes through turn 4. Let's watch her again. I think this is one of the things that's allowing her to drive a little quicker than some of the other competitors tonight is the way she's snapping the wheel through turn 4. Let's watch this.
Turn 4 is crucial, man.
Right there.
It's almost like a box, honestly. There's
A box on the corner?
Yes, there's a certain place in that wall where you cut real tight, and then you cut again once you get on the exit. Like you pass the apex and get on the exit. If you take it more of a curve, it's slower. Where if you go to one side and then jerk to the inside of the corner and hit the apex, it's much faster than if you were just driving around it.
Is this typically
what
a
I mean.
corner where you lift or no?
Depends on the cart.
Okay.
If you have a slipperier cart, it's better to lift because you don't lose any time. If you slip going through that turn, you actually lose time in the back end. And if you're trying to follow somebody really close, like if you're planning on making a pass in turn 5 and you want to stay on the bumper of somebody, it's better to read how they're doing it and try and stick as much as you can. On board with Dominic again. He still is not letting Roman go.
Yeah, keeping that gap.
He's closing it. He really, I'm 95% sure that he is closing that gap.
It'll be interesting to see if he can do anything during the pit stops.
Yeah. I mean, Roman's coming up on lap traffic, so this might be a crucial moment for Dominic. Oh, never mind. He's letting him by.
Letting him by. Yep.
Good call, buddy. Good call.
Well, the blue flag was out at the pit stand, so he might have gotten that on the last time by.
Oh. Man, we're all professionals here. We don't need no blue flags.
To quote
some of us do.
To quote Owen from today, he's like, "I blue flag races."
He
All right.
sure does. Like I said, Dominic's not letting him go. Who's coming in now? It's number
26?
No, 25. 2-5.
Sean in the number 5 spot.
Good for him, man. That might be a crucial move.
Yeah, let's see how his pit stop goes as he smashes the stop button as the 25 seconds begin. Fastens the seat belt, gets his pedals adjusted.
What do you think, James? 29, good cart? What do you think?
They're all good.
That is the correct answer.
They're
All of our carts are stellar.
As good as they can be.
As good as they
have a little bit
possibly
of trouble
can be.
with the belt trying to pull it off to the sides.
That's okay. It's why you got 25 seconds.
Yep, make sure
the cart is on.
Yep. All right, there he goes.
Dominic came in too.
Dominic flipping down the screen in the combat karting system.
Oh, there's a phone flying around. I think that was the GoPro battery.
Nope, because our GoPro is still online, so
It was hooked up to the GoPro.
gonna watch for the.
They better hurry up. Oh, Roman came in too. Oh, now Dominic really has to get out.
All right, Dominic now exiting as we've got Roman right behind him. A little bit of a risk with Roman coming into the pits. He must have assumed that that Sean would have exited by then, but there's a good chance that the pits would have been full because there would have been 2 people as he rounded the turn 5 in the back.
Dominic really needs to get around right now. It's crucial that he gets back to the line, but he's not going to. He's still in the back section.
Dominic was butting up against the sidecar of Sean there.
Yeah, Sean let him by, though.
Let's see if we can switch on board to PJ, who was watching.
Uh-oh, dead cart on track.
Some car stopped on track.
Come on, guys, stop. Although, no, it moved again.
I believe that
they got him moving.
They
again.
said that he was on the wrong speed again.
Oh boy.
Yellow flag is going to fly as we've got somebody now coming into the pits.
I think that's Kovac, maybe? 20.
Your guess is
I
good
think
as
that's
mine.
29. No, that's not 29. Sean already came in.
We'll see what happens when they switch over to 24.
Yeah.
That's Braden.
Braden, okay. K1 helmets, man. If you don't have your own helmet, it's hard to keep track. But we are going again. They are back on green.
As he sends back out on the track.
Nobody
and
go.
We'll switch back to PJ. Given the number 22.
The business. He's giving him the business, James. Although Roman did enter right into oncoming traffic and has people to contend with now, so hopefully Dominic will be able to capitalize and make up some ground.
And we're looking now for any of these top runners who need to make pit stops still. We've just passed the halfway mark. We've got 15 minutes remaining on the clock.
Oh, PJ. PJ's going after him.
Yeah, he's making sure that...
making sure he knows he's there.
Yeah, Roman...
PJ's up to 3rd. I didn't realize that. Although he hasn't pitted yet.
He hasn't pitted.
Katie pitted. PJ did not.
Looks like everybody on the top there, Rachel and Cash, have not pitted yet.
Yeah, Rachel, Cash. I think Nick definitely hasn't. I don't think James has either.
So everybody with 34 is probably pitted now.
I think everybody below position number 6, below Roman, they have all pitted. Oh, PJ's really giving him the business.
We've got 2 guys who are in the pits now. There's Nick Nastoff in
Nick
the front.
Nastoff.
And I believe that's going to be... Is that going to be Braden?
Yes.
He's going to switch him over to the car 24.
No, not Braden.
Well, we have a Brandon.
Braden was already out.
We have a Brandon and a Braden.
That might be Brandon.
Oh, James Hester in the number 27 now.
Sorry, yeah, we just stated who didn't pit, and we already forgot. Uh-oh. Looks like Roman's found his footing. PJ's coming into pit. And so is Rachel. Rachel Hart's in the pit, too.
As we're looking backwards from her. And on board with PJ as he traverses the brand new pit entrance back here.
Cash is waiting till the end of the race, it seems like.
He's going to pit
He's
there.
He's gonna be the last one to pit, man.
A little unusual for the Felbers. They're usually the first to dive into the pits.
Yeah. Come on, Rachel.
They know they have plenty of time to get everything adjusted, so there's no sense in hurrying, even though your heart is racing by the time you get into the pits.
I remember PJ being adamant about how much time he needed to get in and out of 2 different carts.
That was one of the considerations we made for the timed pit stop, is we didn't want people to put at too much of a disadvantage because of the ability to jump between 2 carts.
That's correct. Back out on track. So the last one to pit will be Cash, and he only has 1 choice in cart. That'll be cart number 6 once he comes in.
Rachel's dealing with those cold tires on her out lap. Usually takes about 2 laps to get those rears warmed up.
Ooh.
I saw Dominic playing with the seatbelts.
Yeah, it looked like Dominic was playing with something, man.
He's flying by there with a 34.
Rachel's still in second, having pitted, though. Even with the pit lane, she's still up there. So, and there he is.
Now we've got our leader into the pits. Got to make this a clean stop in order to maintain the lead, although he does have a significant gap as he hammers the car in front of him.
That might cost him. Might cost him just a little bit of time there. We got to make sure we get a camera on these boys, because you got to watch what they do sometimes.
We definitely have that. And you can keep track of the 2 Felbers. Roman is the one with the red gloves. Cash is the one with the black gloves.
Yeah, because we couldn't ask him to wear 2 different helmets. That would make sense.
Yeah, Cash used to have that nice green helmet, but it's been out for repair apparently, so we don't have that luxury. As now all pit stops have been completed. Just 11 minutes remaining on the clock in this 30-minute race.
I think that pit stop paid off for him, James.
He definitely didn't suffer from it, no.
Definitely did not suffer.
I saw the helmet of Rachel Hart rounding turn number 2 as he came through that shot. Let's see what the gap is. There's Rachel right there in the number 2 spot.
Man.
So
that did not work out. How did that not work out?
Which part?
I don't know. Like, I don't know what I'm thinking here.
We have a special guest in the booth. We're going to have him step onto the microphone for just a second. David's going to step aside. As you continue to watch track action live from K1 Speed in Canton, Ohio. We'll quickly give you a shot so that you know who I am with. None other than Armand Deligny, who is going to be starring in the 12 Hours, as well as someone who raced last month in the Endurance Championship. Armand, welcome.
Thank you, James.
What do you think of the race so far? What are we missing?
Been a good race. I'm curious to see why Rachel lost the lead there on that last pit stop with Cash. She had a few seconds lead, but it looks like she's a few seconds behind now, and I didn't see any issues at the pit stop. So.
And there's a significant gap between the 2 of them.
There is.
We'll ride on board with Dominic D'Angelo a little bit to follow along. Number 5, Will Nonamaker, right in front of him.
Yeah, because Rachel was really in the high 25s in her first, and she had a really good cart. So yeah, curious to see what happened there, but hopefully she just settles down and tries to bridge that gap back up.
So you've run this race before. What's going through your mind at 10 minutes to go?
At this time, it's the strategy is kind of played out. When we talk about endurance, we talk a lot about strategy and really when to pit, when to focus, when to pass. Or even when to let others pass, because depending on what position you're in, you might get the blue flags or a quicker racer behind you. So with 10 minutes to go, you're just trying to zone in and go as fast as possible.
You feeling any fatigue at this point?
No, usually the home stretch, you get that last little kick of adrenaline, and it's just...
Not a problem for you?
Shot to the finish line now. Usually not.
We're watching now the train of Katie Wise with Nick Nastoff in tow. Katie holding on to the number 7 spot.
Curious to see the gap between Dominic and Roman as well for 3rd and 4th. I think they're only a couple cart lengths apart as well, so that should be a pretty interesting battle there for the last podium spot. I think Cash and Rachel are just too far ahead at this point for 1st and 2nd.
Let's see if we can get the actual time gap on the race. Well, nope, those are just going to be gaps of lap time on our scoring system, so that's probably not going to tell us what we need. Any other drivers that have surprised you with their performance so far tonight?
A lot of new drivers, honestly. I recognized, I think, only 5 of the 12 I've not raced with over half the field here, so really good turnout for the K1 Endurance League. Actually, I tried to get into this race, and I signed up too late. So here I am on the sidelines commentating.
There you go. It's the second best seat in the house.
Exactly, exactly. It's nice seeing the perspective from up here and seeing what you guys have to navigate through.
And it's going to be good practice for you at the 12 hours, watching these guys compete. What are you looking forward to the most?
Well, I mean, the most is definitely trying to defend our title. I'm teaming up with Rachel Hart, currently in second place here. David Ponce, who was announcing before me, and then Corey Salerno, who's not racing tonight, but races quite often at K1. So
I keep forgetting that you and David are actually going to be teammates this year.
We are indeed. Yep, David made the jump from Team Talladega over to Team Supersonic. He's replacing Marshall Miller, who's racing with the Felbers. So we're super excited for the race. Going to be a lot of good teams.
I'll give you apologies in advance for having to drive with David for 12 hours. So.
Hey, it's all right. We'll make it work. We'll keep him in the corner.
Nick Nastoff taking an aggressive move through 2. What's he going to do in 4? Is Katie taking the squeeze? No, she's going to bump him to the outside.
And then Dominic's getting the back of this and trying to. We got a Felber in there as well.
We're going 3 wide in the back carousel. Good thing there's no cones back there tonight. How is it going to sort out as they run through turn 1? Blue flag being shown to some of the lapped leaders.
Which Felber is that in that mix? Is it Cash? I think it is Cash. Cash is losing time here.
It is. Cash is right behind Will Nonemaker in the blue helmet, right behind Nick Nastoff.
And you can tell that Cash is not happy. He wants those blue flags and to get through there, because you can see Rachel. She's climbing the picture right now outside of turn 5.
There are 6 cars going through these corners all at the same time.
Cash just waving his hand back and forth. He's not happy with all this bumping.
Saying, let's work together through this.
Yep,
he wants to catch those leaders. Well, he wants to make sure he doesn't get caught by the leaders.
And you see Rachel there. So there's about 4 cars between the 2 of them for first and second there. So Cash did the hard part and got around that traffic. And then Rachel's there turning into turn 5 right now. So she's got 3 carts now she has to get through. So it's going to be interesting with 5 minutes to go.
Unbelievable amount of traffic as they've all clumped together, even though they're not all on the same lap.
And Roman's hitting some really nice times with 25.7 on the last lap here.
We'll check back here in our turn 5 camera. They're back to single file finally. Dominic leading with that red helmet, followed by the number 7. Spacing themselves out just a little bit more, but Cash is still bearing down as he's going to look through turn 1.
He's got the pass in, and now Rachel's trying to get a move on Will Nonemaker. That's lap traffic. Remember that. So there she goes around him. So we got Cash, followed by 3 lap traffics, Katie, Sean, and then Rachel. So a few second gap between first and second here, so it should be an interesting finish.
And holding up the tail there, it was PJ Mannypenny. Sean still holding his spot with the 5th place. Last lap, 26.6.
That's a great race from Sean. Again, first time right in
for sure.
In endurance, yeah. He's got a couple kart lengths on PJ, so that should be a close finish there as well.
We just hear constant bumper noise out of the peripheral of our sound booth over here as we see all these cars pushing and shoving each other through the corners. More blue flag being displayed for lap traffic as Rachel Hart in the light blue helmet is rounding turn number 2, trying to chase down Cash Felber if she's got anything left for him at the end of the race. 4 minutes to go. That turn 4 can be rough when you get pushed to the outside, can't it?
It can be, yeah. You always have to make sure you get a good line, and if you're side by side, you have to choose your line carefully. And
it's usually the guy on the inside of the corner who's going to get that advantage. Oh, PJ gets spun around.
Spins out PJ, and everyone slows down here.
Did you get a shot of turn 1 here? The field has been slowed to let him recover. Anytime a car goes sideways, we are required to slow down the field for safety purposes. I know it's not something that the racers want to see, but it just has to be done for the regulations.
We've got 3 minutes and 20 seconds left on the race here. So let's see. We've got a shot of that was Roman, PJ.
Yeah, too bad we weren't riding on board with PJ when he got spun there, so we can see a little bit more. But in the back of Rachel Hart, she got
past Katie. So I think there's only one cart now in between Cash, first place, and Rachel, second place here. They're going through turn 1 right now.
With all the shuffling going on, Katie Hart has maintained her starting position of 8th.
Pretty close here, I think, between 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11.
PJ has moved up 1 spot. He started 7th. He's currently running 6th. And Sean, who started 5th, also maintaining his position. So a lot of shuffling going on, but ultimately not a lot of positions moving.
No, top four pretty much ran away with it at the beginning. Cash, Rachel, Roman, and Dominic, and they'd stay there juking it out a little bit here. Is that so? We're looking at Cash and Dominic here. Dominic's about a lap down.
Yeah, but Dominic very happy to stick to the back of Cash as Cash is leading the race currently. Let's see what their lap times were the last time around. So Cash being a 26.2 and the number 34, Dominic of a 26.29. So it's a good opportunity for him to just stay with the leader even though he's not on the same lead lap.
Yep, and Cash just hit a 25.9 here, and Dominic with a 26.1. So yeah, always good to follow someone that's faster than you. We always instruct the newer public that hasn't raced in a while. Hey, just follow someone that has experience, learn their line, see where they break. Again, having the throttle down the entire time is not the fastest way around this track. So
it's a good point for anybody who's watching who hasn't driven these cars yet. Leaving the throttle down, not the fastest way. At this point, our fastest lap time of the race is a 25.702, and that belongs to Roman.
Yeah, he's catching. He's in the second stint here in the 22 cart. He's doing very well. He's been in the high 25s. I'm not sure what the gap is right now between Rachel and himself. I think it was too far.
Actually, correct that. Cash, fastest lap of the race so far. Sorry about that. 25.67. So almost as fast as the fastest lap of the race last time around, but it's going to his brother so far. They have 1 more minute if they want to try to break into that fastest lap time and gain the 2 bonus points.
How are we looking on the gap between first and second here with a minute to go? I think it might be too far.
Let's see here. Just switch over to this camera.
There you go.
Here.
There's Cash. He's going to be turning into turn 5. We've got a lap traffic of Dominic, and then Rachel is right there turning at turn 4. So, yeah, about a 3 to 4 second gap there. A little too much with 17 seconds and a white flag waving.
White flag is waving because the timer started with a little more than 30 minutes on it. So this will be 1 lap to go for Cash Felber. He's been in a little bit of the shadows on the last couple rounds from his brother, Roman. But what can he do to finish round 5 of this championship series? Is he going to come out the leader? It certainly looks like it as he rounds the carousel for the last time.
Waving his arm, pointing
Cash
at number.
Felber going to be the winner of round number 5 of the Endurance Championship Series.
Rachel's going to come in and take second. And Roman Felber will finish on the podium in the 3rd place, maintaining, I believe, his lead in the overall. I think it was close in points, but I think he's going to maintain.
Yeah, with the points gap between Roman and Rachel being 8 points, I don't think there's not enough ground there for him to lose his position, but there'll be a little bit of a chunk taken out of there as Cash was only 1 point behind Rachel. So he'll be able, it's the Felber boys, it looks like they're going to be taking 1 and 2 in the championship standings. Cash definitely excited. There was a round a few months ago where he let his brother by, I believe, to let him take that championship point. Now, tonight, it's Cash's turn. As he climbs from his car victorious. We're going to have Jason down there at the pits to try to pick up some post-driver interviews. Armand, thanks for joining us up here in the pits. I'm sorry, up here in the booth. We're going to kick it back over here to David to let him finish it off, and then we'll be talking to Jason in just a second. So good luck in the 12 hours as you prepare for that.
Sounds good. Thanks, James.
drivers climbing from their cars now, and we'll have Jason's mic coming up here in just a second.
Can't wait to hear from Jason.
All right, Jason, what do you got the winner there? Let's take out your lower thirds and see what you got. Do you have we have a mic on? Hang on a second, Jason. Jason, hang on 1 second. I got to make sure we got your mic.
I'm not sure he can hear us. He's still interviewing, even though we told him to stop.
6.
Jason! Jason!
I'm just saying, in the future, if I'm giving you the line, I didn't need the space to keep my foot flat.
1 second here. We're trying to get Jason's microphone working. There we go.
There he is.
Jason, let's do that again.
Are we
Try
good?
again.
Awesome. All right, so I'm down in the pits. Got Cash, the race winner, down here with me. So, Cash, what'd you think?
It was crazy. It was awesome. I didn't expect to come out that far ahead after the pit stop. I'm not really sure what happened in Rachel's pit stop because I was about like a second back going when she went into the pit stop. So I came out, I was like, where the heck is she? And then I looked back, I was like, wait, am I lapped again? And I was like, wait, I'm leading because I looked at the scoreboard. And then I was like, there's just no way.
Yeah, that was an awesome race. So yeah, we were all surprised. Everybody was moving around, and then lap traffic got crazy with you guys. So it was a really good race. So what was your favorite part, you think?
Probably the start.
The start?
Was really fun, actually.
Yeah, you got a really good jump on the start in that.
I did.
And then once you started getting into lap traffic, you're getting really good at working your way around really clean in traffic. You used to be a little aggressive, but I mean, you're working your way through it pretty good. And so I can't wait to see what you do. And the points are going to be great. So it puts you guys, I know you and your brother are both in the top 3, so we'll have to see how it sorts out because I don't have that right in front of me, but should be good. So 4 points? Oh,
5 points,
well, we got the brother Roman here. So Roman, how was your race?
Not as great. After the start, my cart had like no brakes, so I was just struggling with that. And then after the pit stop, it was good. I was like running good. I was catching Rachel. I got the gap from 10 seconds to one, I think.
Yeah, you were running really fast in that second half. Like you were working your way through traffic, and just like I told your brother, like you guys are getting really good at working through traffic and that. So you were coming back at it, and I think with a little bit more time, you would have been in it.
2 more minutes.
Yeah, 2 more minutes?
2 more minutes.
Okay. Well, congratulations, great race, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, Jason,
So let's see
grab
who else we
Dominic
can
if you
find down here.
I want to hear from Dominic if you could.
Yeah, and it's always one more lap, right? It's always
always
one more minute, 2 more minutes.
In this one, it's always 5 more minutes. If I had 5 more minutes, I could run down Armand. That's what I was saying the last time I was racing in this.
And then
Really want to hear from Dominic, to be honest, because his performance tonight was phenomenal. If Jason can find him.
yeah, for sure.
Faux show.
Yeah, I don't see him. Well, I do have Rachel and Armand down here who are discussing apparently their race plan, so I'm going to grab Rachel.
Oh, boy.
I know, right? Armand, you already had your seat time. Next time, you got to sign up early, man.
There you go. It's all right. No, hey, that's okay. Sometimes it happens.
Yeah, that's all right.
Signed up a little too late.
Yeah, so Rachel, how was your race?
I'm a little confused because I was leading. I never got past and I didn't win. But it was a good race. I think we had really equal carts through the whole thing, so it was fun. I was watching the scoreboard. Best lap was swapping back and forth the whole time.
Yeah, it's awesome. But that's what's great. It's unofficial results until, we do record these races, so we can go back through and watch that stuff. But, yeah, and you were moving really good. And the lap traffic was kind of nuts tonight.
Oh, it was crazy. There was a line, I think, of 5 or 6 at one point, and I'm like swerving, trying to bump and find clear space, and it was nuts. A lot of blue flag.
It was really hard to tell who was on what lap because some of those people were racing each other, and then as you and Cash and then Roman at the end of it started coming through everybody, you couldn't tell who was who.
Yeah, I think the 3 of us had a lap up on the entire field, and then there were some that I know I saw twice, so it was a race for sure.
Yeah, I also saw a lot of nice passing out there as far as it came to blue flag stuff, so that was really good to see you guys work together through the entire field. But so, what was your favorite part of the race, you think?
Honestly, I like the lap traffic. Gives you a little change of pace from the regular laps that you're running, but it was busy. The whole time I was watching scoreboards, I was watching other people just to see how many lappers I was coming up on, what was their line ahead of me, how could I find a passing zone.
So you think that helps you prepare for the 12 hours?
Of course it does.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well,
12 hours of this. So there's going to be a lot of passing, a lot of bumping, a lot of different scenarios coming out of the pits. I saw a couple where people weren't totally confident coming out, so I think this will help a lot.
yeah, we saw the merge lane was kind of being
Yeah, there were
liberal.
people flying a little far, people coming out that were like, oh crap, I'm in somebody's way. So there's a lot there.
Yeah, so lots of stuff to work on, but congratulations, and we'll see you wind up in the points. And like I said, unofficial results until we go through everything, but send it back up to you guys.
Thanks, Jason. Well, David, you were watching the last part of the race when Armand was up here. What were your thoughts on the final and how everything went down?
That was probably the best part of the race to watch. Just with all the,
Second
just with
pass.
that huge amount of traffic going on right there at the end, because that was the point where you have to capitalize. Like Rachel to, Cash, right?
Cash, yep.
Cash was out front. When everybody got bunched together and Rachel was actually within that pack, that's when you got to capitalize. That's when you got to get through faster than the guy in front of you. That's how you catch everybody. I don't know about the pit thing that they're talking about. That's going to need to be reviewed, if anything, if we're going to dispute it. But no, like I
think a couple of us are at a loss as to how that happened, why there was so much time lost during that pit stop.
And with a couple of those, I guess not to point it out, but we did have a couple carts leave the pit and not speed up. But that was rectified, so it's not really something we need to worry about too much.
Well, let's throw up the unofficial points
There it is.
as far as where we believe the points are going to stand. Thanks to Jocelyn down in the pits updating this for us.
Thank you, Jocelyn.
I'm not sure if this includes the point for pole position and fastest lap yet. So, again, unofficial. Take this for what it's worth, and just to give us an idea where we might be at the end of this race. And you can see the Felber boys right up there at the top. Now, here's the question. Will they be back next month?
That is the consistency is the spice of life when it comes to the endurance series.
There's a rumor that those guys may not make it to the February endurance race. So if they don't,
shame.
Yeah, they'll
they probably have real race cars to drive.
A lot. Hey, it doesn't get any more real than this.
No, absolutely not.
But there could be more points shifted at the end of the season. We have one race left to go. Really wanted to see if Jason was able to pick up Dominic, because we'd love to find out how his race was running.
I was going to comment on that. I mean, I know I keep bringing him up, but he really did a good job this race, and because he's actually running in the rookie class, he's beating people that aren't in the rookie class. He's beating veteran. He's beating veteran guys. He beat Katie and PJ tonight.
Very disciplined driver and very fast.
He could. From what I saw, he could clean it up. He obviously got pushed around within like the first or second or third lap at the beginning.
Yep.
Both Felbers kind of ganged up on him right there at the beginning, but
early on in turns 2 and 3, but starting up in second spot, fantastic qualifier.
Oh, absolutely.
Good result.
Yeah.
Hopefully he walks away proud of his points from where he stands. So.
Sometimes you just get pushed around. Unfortunately, he got ganged up on by the two twins. So,
yeah,
like I said at the beginning of the race, he was stuck between a rock and a hard place between Rachel and Cash, I believe, if I remember correctly.
Well, that'll do it for us in round 5 of the Endurance Championship Series. Thanks so much for following along. If you enjoyed it, make sure you subscribe to the channel and you give us a like and follow along, because we're going to do this one more time before we head into the 12 hours. So,
and you want to be here. You want to be here for it.
Yeah, definitely subscribe for the 12 hours. Thanks for joining us tonight. We hope you guys have a great evening, and we'll see you next month back here at K1 Speed Canton.
Bye-bye.